California Governor Gavin Newsom is currently navigating a $31,500 state fine and a federal Department of Justice investigation involving millions of dollars in corporate funds. These inquiries bypass traditional bribery or campaign finance laws. Instead, they center on an obscure fundraising mechanism called a behested payment. The question is how a legal charitable tool triggered a federal probe into one of the country's most prominent governors. Under California law, a behested payment occurs when an elected official requests that an individual or a corporation make a donation to a specific charity or cause. Because the politician does not personally receive the funds, the law places no limit on how much a corporation can donate at a governor's request. The system relies on a single transparency rule. The official must publicly report any donation over $5,000 to the state within 30 days of the payment. Newsom triggered state penalties by missing the reporting deadline on millions of dollars in contributions. To determine the nature of these late filings, we have to audit exactly where that money was sent. In June 2026, the Fair Political Practices Commission fined Newsom $31,500 for the late reporting of $5.5 million in payments. These funds were directed to the California Fire Foundation and the Institute for Local Government to aid victims of the 2025 Los Angeles wildfires. Corporations like Uber and BlackRock provided the funding for the relief effort at Newsom's direct suggestion. Newsom's office maintains that the delay was a byproduct of the emergency response, noting that the reports were filed before regulators opened their inquiry. On this ledger, the late paperwork coincides with the peak of the wildfire disaster. For those searching for a pattern of corruption, this specific $5.5 million trail ends at disaster relief funds. The second ledger involves the focus of the federal probe, millions Newsom requested for charities tied to his wife, Jennifer Siebel Newsom. While online claims alleged she took $3.7 million, IRS filings show she received roughly $1.8 million over a decade as a salary for running her gender equity charity, the Representation Project. Under U.S. tax law, founders are permitted to draw a salary from their own registered nonprofit organizations. However, the ethical quest remains. A sitting governor soliciting corporate funds that pay his wife's salary creates a persistent political liability. The audit becomes more complex when looking at the timing between specific donations and executive actions. The Grattan Rancheria tribe donated $1 million to Siebel Newsom's charity during the same period the governor formally opposed a rival tribe's casino project. Similarly, CVS donated $25,000 to the California Protocol Foundation, a charity that covers the governor's travel, while lobbying his office against a pharmacy regulation bill. Newsom vetoed that bill shortly after the donation was made. These specific timelines, while not proof of a legal violation, are why federal investigators are currently reviewing the paper trail. At this stage, state watchdogs have ruled these actions are administrative reporting errors rather than illegal bribes. Newsom has characterized the federal investigation as a politically motivated attack directed by the Trump administration to interfere with his 2028 presidential ambitions. Regardless of the motivation behind the probe, the reporting violations, the missed deadlines, and the corporate transfers are now part of the public record. Behested payments provide a mechanism for leaders to quickly funnel private millions into public goods, such as disaster recovery or school supplies. But the system also allows corporations to bypass campaign finance limits, transferring unlimited sums to organizations favored by a politician. Even when the funds are spent on a registered charity, the arrangement creates the appearance of a conflict of interest. California's law creates a space where genuine charity and political influence occupy the same balance sheet. It leaves the final audit to the voters.